Okay. There you go. All right, so you got tracing paper down. And I'm just going to go a little bit down from the edge of the sheet. Oops. I missed that. Nope. All right. Oh, no, that's my corner right there. That's my carpet. Okay, so if I want to be looking like this way across here, I'm going to move this like, yeah, this corner. Yeah. Goes through. All right. All right, so I have like, this is a carpet. The edge of my paper is out here. You have to mark that because it's hard to see it under the trace. There, that's solid. Okay. Okay, so if I put my station point like down here, I have to make sure that this is in fact there. When I get it to where I want it, then I can take that down, but right now, not yet. So if I put my station point like down here, and for the vanishing points, I go parallel to the architecture, it's not gonna fit on there. I don't know that I need to be this far away, but if I did need to be this far away, you could make this wider, or you could, I wonder if you could change the angle. No, it'd have to be closer. I think I'm gonna have to make myself like, even try. Yeah, I think I'd have to be like about here. I want to be like not right. Right there, so this is the direction I'm looking. And then vanishing point parallel to the architecture, so I line this from the station point. Like I'm going to use the carpet since it's parallel to the wall. This is right on the edge. That's right. I'm just going to right there. Okay. And then somewhere down here, below this, I'll put in my horizon line. In this case, I'm going to measure from the picture plane down, like I'll come down 8. If you're using a drafting table with a mainline bar, then you don't have to measure. You can just use the bar and draw that straight. Okay. Before I forget, let's tape down my floor plan so that it doesn't shift, because if it does shift, then things are not going to come out right. I'm not going to put the dot there because that's where my drawing is happening. Okay. Good. In a lot of cases, the floor plan is bigger and sticks out up here, so you can tape it up there. Okay. So now I drew from my station point, parallel to the architecture, I got vanishing point here and here. Actually, I think it should be more like out here. All right. Once I get the vanishing points identified up on the picture plane, then I can bring them straight down. About there, it will come straight down about there, and then you'll have your left and right vanishing points. The wall at this corner right here, so anything that intersects the picture plane can be brought straight down into the drawing. And since I placed that corner okay, yeah, that's about right. So you want this to be straight down, and then the height of this, the height of the perspective drawing is going to be in the same scale as your floor plan. So if your floor plan is 1/4 inch scale, your perspective drawing has to be 1/4 inch scale, and that means that this initial wall is going to be scaled to whatever your floor plan is. So if your floor plan is in 1/4 inch scale, and when you think of something you've drawn, like an interior you've designed for a class, what might the ceiling height be?
9 feet.
Okay, good. So 9 feet. So I don't really have scale here, so I'm just going to approximate. The horizon line
But can we choose another ceiling height if we want to?
you could, yes. I will want you to draw and render an elevation and the floor plan. So the elevation should just reflect the height. I mean, you can always sketching out, drawing a simple elevation won't take you much time at all. Okay, so yeah, so if this is if we say this is 9 feet, and horizon line is eye level, and so let's say the horizon line or the eye level is at 5 feet. So it would be from the floor to the horizon line would be 5, and then it would be 4 feet above the horizon line. So what's below the horizon line will be, straighten that, just it'll be a little bit more below than above. Okay, something kind of like that. And while you do this, you can put marks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 9. So you can put little marks along that line, so you know your foot, so it marks for 1 foot increments in scale. Now that I got the top and the bottom of the wall, select master. Good. There. There. And there. So this gives you your initial architecture. And then you can start projecting some things. And let's say, for example, you have like this break in the wall for the window in a couple of places. So there's going to be a window over here, and the way I bind it, I want to get the front corner and then the farther corner to show the thickness. And then I want to get this one right here. There, there, and there. Okay. This familiar so far?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so the so then I can bring these. So once I project from, so projection is station point through this point in the drawing here, here, and here, up to the picture plane, and then straight down into the drawing. So this one I can align that. There. So let's, we can say this is, let's see, if this is like a floor to ceiling window. This is the interior edge. That's the exterior edge. They can't be just kind of flat at the bottom like that. It has to be that and that. With this, so this is going to the vanishing point, this angled edge of the sort of like the bottom of the thickness of the wall and the top of the thickness of the wall. There is a, you can see this new corner back here, left vanishing point, and then draw to this vertical, because this is like when the wall starts back up. Here, there. And that'll give me the depth of the window, the thickness of the wall. Okay, so the windows are fairly easy because if I've already drawn the walls, projecting them is can be fairly you already know where the wall, like the top and the bottom of the wall is. Okay, and then this other window, I go from there, there, and then if the corner, just give myself a crisper edge. This corner. Oh, that is not right. better. Clean it up a little bit. Okay. Okay. So this far corner here, and then these guys there. All right. Then we can bring these down. There. Approximate. And then from up here, this is a little farther to my left, so there's some more foreshortening to it. There. And if these windows are not floor to ceiling, then let's say I have like the sill of it is 2 feet. Right there, those are my tick marks 1 and 2. So from 2 feet, I'll draw across the wall, lining up that mark at 2 feet. And it's going to change the bottom of the window to that spot. Then I'm going to do the same thing I did before with the bottom. There. Blurry. Okay. Take this 7 feet. Right there. Joey. Everybody was all quiet and sleeping. And as soon as they hear me talking to somebody, like, what are you doing? Who's there? I want to see.
Maybe they're jealous. They probably only want you to talk to them.
Possibly, yes. Possibly. I mean, they usually like to know what's going on, so. Okay.
That's fair.
Yep. All right, so how's that for the windows?
It looks great.
Okay, good. So the process is, like it's, I guess that process seems a little familiar.
Yeah, I had reviewed it a
Okay,
little in one of your recordings as well.
okay, good. All
So
right.
you're basically from wherever the point is where you'd be standing,
Yep.
you're kind of measuring that from there, angled towards whatever you're measuring along the wall, and then you're bringing that down from the
Yep.
top line.
Yes.
Great.
So since I already, the first thing I drew is the walls, then anything that's part of the wall that's touching the wall, I can project that directly from station point through the point up to the picture plane and then down. The furniture will be a little
Yeah,
different.
the furniture is probably what I'll need a little help with.
Yeah. All right. So the furniture, you can project those. You can project the corners of it and bring them down, but you don't know where they stop because you don't have any point of reference on the floor. The way you do that is you would go from the edge of the, like basically you extend the edge of that sofa to touch the wall as if it's touching the wall. So like an imaginary edge over to the wall. Let's erase. That's a little hard to see. This actually lines up kind of right where the window is. I'm going to move it over a little bit. So I draw this imaginary edge side of the sofa over to the wall. And since I already have the wall in the drawing, I can use that to draw the sofa. So up there, there's that, and that for the sofa edges. And then I bring this down. It's going to come down right next to the window. I want to mark at the base of the wall where this point comes down. And then this one too. Base of the wall and then base of the wall. Then I draw in perspective out from that mark at the base of the wall. All right, so those two lines coming away from that wall represent the width of the sofa. Now I can project corners of the sofa. So I'm going to go with these two first. The front and the back of this left side. Like there. There. And then this I can draw down. So they come off of this side. I'm going to project them down and mark where they hit the floor along that line. So I'm going to say there. And about there. So those two spots represent that point and that point. So if I don't draw that line and like imaginary line over to the edge of the wall, and then project that point up and then down to the base of the wall and then draw out, I don't know where I'm bringing these lines down to. I don't really have to project the other ones because I can now use perspective and draw that. So that's the base of the sofa right there. So that's how you project something that's away from the wall. And for the height of it, let's say like the back of the sofa is 3 feet. 1, 2, 3. If I draw like 3 feet across the wall, like there, the height of the sofa is not here because it's forward away from the wall. What I do is like, here's my, this mark that I drew. from when I projected that base of the sofa against the wall. I bring this up to the 3 feet and then out in space, and then I do the same thing over with this one. Out into the room. Now I can draw up. Yeah. For the height, and it's not going to, it's not going to be 3 feet on the front, but here's this corner. And that's might be a little hard to see, but you get the point of that?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, good. So then you can, from here you can start drawing, really just from looking at a picture, what the design of the sofa is and approximate. Like if this is 3 feet, 18 inches is about halfway for the seat height.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Be right back to stop the video for just a second. All right, so do you have any questions after seeing that?
I don't think I have any questions so far. All of that makes sense
Good.
and is easy to understand on my end.
Good. All right, so coffee table. So different ways you could draw this coffee table. You could approximate, how much like the width there. You could also like just draw like from the edge of the coffee table to the sofa and project up and use the sofa as a like the sofa is something that's already in the drawing that you can project to, if that makes sense. So this, it's right on that corner. There. Okay. Yeah, that looks okay. Then I can project corners like this and this to get the vertical edge of the table. So those will be right there and there. And then 18, I think I'll have to go back to the wall. 18 is going to be somewhere like here. Draw across the wall. From here, a line there, up to 18, and then out. There. So there's my 18 for the table height. There. And then I can draw to vanishing point. Oops, that's crooked. Yeah. The back edge is going to be, so you'll see that leg. There's that. Okay. There's the table. And this carpet, could have done that first. Again, just like the sofa, I would draw back to the wall. I think I'm not going to see much of that really close to the edge of the wall, so I think I might just kind of fudge that. And there, down, about there. Carpet, and then I can project. Corner is actually right there. It's going to be really close. Like that. I'm just going to see on this side. I can see in the plan that it just goes very close to the wall, so I can make another line in perspective that's off the wall. There, where's my corner? About like there. Let's see this. It's going to get pretty. Start to get a little distorted down at the bottom, but yeah, so that's some 2-point projection. And I think here, so here. It's actually too high for 18. I'm going to seek to there. And here, like now that I've got all that, like I've got this sort of like basic object projected. And you could project some detail, like the width of the arm and the depth of the back. Like I could like project this next point here, the corner of the arm, the interior corner of the arm, and then this interior corner of the arm. Or you could just draw it and make it look right, which is quicker. And if you're looking at a drawing of the actual, like the design of the sofa you're using, then you'll see what it is you need to be drawing. So here's the height of the arm here. Come back. Where's my corner? I covered up my corner. It's down like here. That should be. Give a little bit of a pitch to the back. And on the middle there. Oh, that looks okay. Like that. So this is kind of like, sketching to get the detail of the sofa. There's only so much that the plan shows you. Okay. Window treatment. Let's say you're going to have like windows, like if you look at a sash window, like in my home, there's molding around the window. There's a lot going on with the molding. I would just approximate that. You don't have to draw every last bit of detail. But like if I'm going to put like let's say there's like a blind or a shade up here that is so like inside that window pocket. I want to show like here, this is the back edge of the window. I want to show that it comes in front of the back edge of the window, but not all the way to the front, so that it looks like it's actually in that space. And you can look at different window treatment designs. Something just to suggest that there's something there. Put a little edge to suggest some glass. There. That's a window. And if I've got a little bit more around it. So we'll come out to the end here. Window. Okay. don't know, something's out there. Nothing too distinct. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. Does it feel like this would help you get started on some drawings?
Definitely, this is a huge help.
Good. And then there's always stuff that you're going to have questions about something that you either like I haven't demonstrated that you need to draw. Then you should ask me. Like let me know that you need to figure out, like you need to know how to draw something. Like let's say there's a light, pendant light above this. I know I've gone over this before, like with the kitchen, but like if just say as a reminder, you have this. I want to find like the middle, like the spot on the floor right underneath the table, and I will draw through that point over to the wall, right there, up to the ceiling, and then from that mark out across the ceiling. That's kind of like, I just like drew a line like over to the ceiling, up and then back out. Then I can draw from here, that midpoint beneath the table, right there. That is the spot on the ceiling that is directly above the table. So it's a useful thing to know how to do. Okay. Okay, so do you have any requests?
I know, I was trying to think. I'm looking at a floor plan I might do, and I'm trying to see if there's anything that I might need
Okay.
help with.
Yeah. I mean, if you had, let's say, like with this, let's say like a carpet. Let's say you have like a border, and you would use perspective to draw the border of the carpet. That can get bigger as it comes closer. If there's a, let's say like there's like a curve on there, you want to try to draw that curve in perspective. If you could enclose the curve in a rectangle, it can help you. Let's see, I want to find the midpoint of this line. And by doing, and then that means I'm going to cross the diagonal again there. Find the center, go over to the vanishing point, find the middle of that line there. Then I know that if there's like a curve in the design, it's going to only hit the midpoint.
I do have, on this floor plan that I'm looking at, I do have a cowhide rug, so it's like a very weird organic shape. I'm not really sure how you do that in perspective unless you were just estimating.
Well, I would start it as a rectangle. So let's say this is some irregular shape, but you want to show that it's flat. If you know like this is flat, that rectangle is flat because you drew it correctly in perspective, then you do something like that. So start it. So I would draw it out as a rectangle first, and then try to figure out, like, if it's got like longer parts, that can be challenging to approximate how they would look in perspective. But having a rectangle first is a good idea.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you see that I put um, the first chapter of the John Pyle book on perspective in Blackboard?
I did not see that actually.
Okay, I took pictures of all the pages of that first chapter.